All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in. I'm Dave. I am the Radical Independent. Day one of the new channel as we flip over from the Save America Vote Tulsi Gabbard channel and doing a little rebranding here for me. And I want to be honest with myself first and foremost. I am not a true progressive in the sense of the word. I am not being paid by Tulsi Gabbard or anything like that, so I don't want to bring any, negativity toward the Tulsi campaign, so I decided to just rebrand and become my own channel rather than leaning on Tulsi Gabbard for viewers and for subscribers. So, again, I hope you'll stick with me. My perspective is going to be different than your garden variety progressives or conservatives. I am, again, a radical independent. I'm in the middle somewhere of the two parties, but I am for big ideas, big ticket issues, as I like to say. And, of course, I'll continue to support Tulsi Gabbard as she hopefully becomes the President of the United States. This ad that she put out is brilliant because it sounds like it was written by a conservative, but it is very progressive and very forward. And I want to play this for you. Brilliantly produced spot. Runs about 3 minutes. We'll start from the beginning.
This is America. A brilliant diversity spread like stars, like 1,000 points of light in a broad and peaceful sky. Now, those were the words that were spoken over 30 years ago at the Republican National Convention by our 41st president, the late George H.W. Bush. Now, 3 decades later, our Republican president is making racially charged comments directed at 4 Democratic congresswomen.
Okay, so the fact that she uses a quote from George H.W. Bush is going to be a non-starter for people who can't see past the Bush family. I can see past them. I'm not a fan. They are regime change war specialists, and I know I'm sure she realizes this, but she wanted to demonstrate what civility looks like in politics. And the same reason, by the way, that she defended Joe Biden. All right, this is what a leader looks like and sounds like. So, and I'm just putting it out there. Maybe she's trying to appeal to more mainstream voters. Maybe she's trying to get her message out there in a way that just reaches people that wouldn't ordinarily seek out a Tulsi Gabbard. So I think it's great strategy, and I think she's sincere, which is the most important thing.
Saying that they should, quote, go back to where they came from if they don't share his views. I and so many other Americans from across this country enlisted and served in the military and volunteered to put our lives on the line to protect the rights and freedoms of all Americans, no matter their race, gender, or religious beliefs. Now, what makes us Americans has nothing to do with our skin color or political views, but rather our commitment to a set of ideals.
Okay, so here she is, an equal opportunity offender and defender. It doesn't have to do with your skin color. It's not about identity politics. It's about a set of ideals, a commitment. And we have to, as a country, go higher than intersectionality or bean counting or however you want to look at it. Because, again, this might be more of a right-wing sounding comment here, but I'm really tired about hearing about race. I'm really tired about it. And it's one of those things with me that the more you point it out, the more you're going to cause animosity where there was none, where there was zero. And here she threads that needle, and she does so brilliantly because she's talking about principles and ideas She's not talking about skin color or gender or anything like that.
That are enshrined in the Bill of Rights. Now, Donald Trump's efforts to intimidate those with dissenting views infringes upon the very essence of America. Our freedoms of speech and expression are inalienable rights endowed by our Creator.
Okay, so we just brought God into it. So if you're a religious conservative and you believe that our rights come from our Creator, God, this is a stellar moment, because it's somebody who is defending very progressive politicians who at times grandstand a lot and are mugging for the camera a lot, but she's sticking up for a principle, for an ideal. And to me, that's amazing. I don't agree with everything that comes out of these 4 freshmen. Okay, I don't agree every thing that they say and the way they say it. But she's saying they should have a right to say it. Now, if I'm going to be an equal opportunity offender and defender, then free speech is free speech, and that's what she's saying here. Conservatives are fighting all over the internet right now because platforms are being banned and so forth, and I firmly disagree with that. You should have the right to say whatever you want to say. The founders meant free speech, and the most egregious of speech is part of protected speech. Now, some people believe that at a certain point, like Trump, what he did is hate speech, so therefore he can't say it. Unfortunately, he can say it. But this is the backlash here, is that people come along and say, and call him out and say, no, that's not American. Which is, see, if you didn't allow Trump to be who he is, you wouldn't have this opportunity to confront him because, it would be banned speech. This is the public square. This is the voter being represented by Tulsi Gabbard, who has come out and called Trump out on this. So, just, again, fantastic by her.
Now, Trump's racist comments were divisive enough, but now he's doubled down on those remarks, labeling anyone who wants to see changes to his administration's policies as people who hate America. I recall Donald Trump had many grievances with the state of our country when President Obama was in office. But now that he occupies the White House, he's claiming that if anyone opposes his vision for America, they should leave the country. To all those Americans who voted for Trump, I have never and will never disparage or demean you.
Okay, this seems like it's almost directed at me. I hate to bring myself into this, but I feel as though she's talking to me right here. And it's an emotional moment for me because I realize that this woman doesn't have animosity toward people that voted for Trump. Whereas I've encountered a ton of hostility. And that's why, I can't just buy in to straight up progressive politics because it's flavored with a bitter aftertaste. And I'm not down with the struggle enough. I don't understand every issue the way progressives want me to behave. I'm thinking for myself. I'm not supporting Trump anymore. In fact, last night, it was just like, wow, that it was this was just craziness. It was on steroids, and the people were joining in, and it was very un-American. It was very un-American, and I understand that conservative commentators are going to defend Trump all day, and they're going to tear apart Omar and her. Now they're going after Omar's marriage and all these different things, and I don't have a dog in that hunt. I want policies. I don't want personal attacks all day long. And that, by the way, that goes the same way. If you're just attacking Trump as a person, orange man, bad, that's not a policy. That's not a way to reform the government. What you need to do is challenge Trump on things like corruption, on nepotism, on what his daughter and his son-in-law have been doing in the administration. That's where you need to investigate. But the news media won't pursue that because they might actually find smoke and fire, and then there'd be grounds to get rid of Trump. Of course, you get Pence, so I don't know how productive any of that is. So let me get back to the video here.
I know that you love and care about our country and our future.
Yep.
This is why I'm sure that all, or at least many of you, are disheartened by the president's racist and xenophobic remarks.
So she's calling out to Trump supporters and saying, I'm trying to summon your better angels. You Christians, you right-wing Christians who are holier than thou, not that they actually are, they're just pretending to be, because most of us just pretend. We don't actually do what we're supposed to do when it comes to morals and values. But she's saying to them, look, you voted for Trump. I'm trying to appeal to your better angels. And I'm trying to tell you, hey, it's okay. I'm still here for you. If you want to come and hang out with me, I'm never going to stoop to that level. I'm someone who's going to bring the country up. And I would address Christians and say, what are you guys doing now? Why are you still holding on to this? Because you think he's going to protect religious liberty? I think Tulsi Gabbard would protect religious liberty for for all people. I think she would be a fierce defender, whether you're a Muslim or a Christian or a Jew or a Hindu. I know people get on Tulsi Gabbard because she's a Hindu. She seems to me perfectly balanced in her faith, and I've seen no evidence that somehow her faith or her religion has made her into a person that isn't, qualified to hold an office. If anything, I think it's strengthened her and made her a better person.
After all, we have all come from different parts of the world, from Ireland to Italy to South America, from Africa to Asia. And as many of our ancestors came to these shores, they too may have been ostracized and told to go back to where you came from. You instinctively know that the president's attacks are not only un-American, but they are anti-American because they divide us. And we know that when our country is divided, we are weaker and we will fall. So Donald Trump is not making the United States stronger. He is making us weaker. He is undermining our values and our Constitution. As Americans, I hope that you will join me in condemning Donald Trump's willingness to sacrifice the well-being of our country for his own political interests. We need a president who loves our country more than himself.
Okay. Home run. Home run. Like, absolute home run. Almost like goosebumps, because that's it. You know what she says a lot, Tulsi? Donald Trump, swallow your pride. She reads people well. And I know, this is a Captain Obvious moment. People are saying, well, Dave, Trump's ego is bigger than any room he walks into. Sure. But then when he applies it to things like just defeating a political opponent by using some really underhanded tactics, then it kind of takes on a whole new persona. And Tulsi Gabbard has this ability to kind of look Trump in the eye and say, you got too much pride, your ego is too big, and that's hitting Trump where it matters. And it shows other people who may have voted for Trump, wow, Trump is not a humble man. He's not a servant. I know he's built up as, he gave up everything and he became the president. He didn't give up anything. He still has billions of dollars. He still has a real estate empire. His kids are running the show. He didn't really give up anything. He seems to enjoy this back and forth and this negativity. It almost fuels the guy. And I don't want a president like that. I want a president like this, Tulsi Gabbard. That's what I want. And we can make it happen. But we've got to get busy. We've got to get her to 130,000 unique donors. And we need everybody. We need apolitical people who have never given before, who've never even thought about a political candidate. Because she's the best. She's the best. So Tulsi, today I'm sorry that I pulled your name down from this channel, but there are some people who support Tulsi and Bernie who are just rubbing me the wrong way, and I didn't want to be involved in that. I wanted to sort of define myself more and say I'm independent, and I could vote for a progressive Democrat. I could vote for a libertarian. I could vote for a Green Party person. Those are the choices. I don't know if I can vote for a right-wing conservative at this point. It depends who they are and what they're running on. You know, I could probably vote for Rand Paul because his top issue is he wants to get us out of these foreign interventions. So, Tulsi Gabbard, though, shows me that she's a stateswoman. She is ready for the Oval Office on day one. There's no other candidate running for president who's got our back like Tulsi Gabbard. And she has a very unique ability to dissect Trump and go after not only him, but go after the people that voted for him. But she did it using love and tact and diplomacy. So this is awesome. And Tulsi, thanks for the message, because I needed that today. Because I voted for Trump, and I got off that train, and I'm still feeling the effects of being part of that. And last night, I felt a little guilty, because I helped put this guy in the Oval Office. So, in any event, great video. And Tulsi still rocks, and I'll be back with more. If you want to contribute to this new endeavor, which is just it's just a name change. You notice that the graphics, the pictures are different, the banner is different. I took Tulsi off the banner. But I am moving forward as the Radical Independent. I will put the email address to where you can give to PayPal. The link to Patreon still works. So if you want to support me there, I imagine that I may lose a few supporters because I know there were a lot of people that wanted me to be more progressive and to understand what they were saying and to bring me into certain rhetorical landmines that I'm not going there. I know who I am, and this is who I am, and I'm feeling a lot better about myself today. So I'm done. See you soon.